If you think Charlie Kirk was anything like Martin Luther King Jr., you've been lied to. Let's end this lie once and for all. Charlie Kirk was never anything like Martin Luther King Jr. Not remotely, not philosophically, not morally, not historically, and pretending otherwise is an insult to the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke for people who had no power. He organized against the state, against police brutality, against legalized segregation, and against economic exploitation. He was surveilled. He was jailed. He was beaten. And eventually, he was killed for demanding that America live up to its own promises. King's speeches were not about grievance. They were about justice. They were not about fear. They were about moral responsibility. He spoke of unity not as comfort, but as sacrifice. Unity meant giving something up so others could finally breathe. Charlie Kirk did not speak from the margins. He spoke from positions of access, funding, and institutional protection. His rhetoric centered not on liberation, but on threat. Threats from immigrants, from LGBTQ people, from educators, from political opponents. This matters because Martin Luther King Jr. never built a movement by telling Americans who to fear. He never blamed social change on vulnerable communities. He never confused equality with oppression. King warned explicitly about this kind of politics. He said the greatest danger was not open hatred alone, but the manipulation of fear for power. He believed love was not passive. It was a force that demanded accountability from the powerful. And this is where the lie completely falls apart. Charlie Kirk's style of activism relied on constant conflict, on framing disagreement as war, on portraying pluralism as decay. That is not civil rights rhetoric. That is reactionary politics. Martin Luther King Jr. expanded the moral circle of America. Charlie Kirk narrowed it. One spoke the language of belonging. The other spoke the language of exclusion. One asked Americans to confront injustice even when it was uncomfortable. The other told Americans they were under attack simply for sharing power. Respect for history requires honesty. These men were not two versions of the same struggle. They were on opposite sides of what justice even means. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke for love that liberates. Charlie Kirk spoke for ideology that divides. There is no comparison. There never was. And the truth does not need to whisper. The truth is uncomfortable, and that's how you know it matters.